Hi everybody. So this half term we're going to be moving away from finding out about just castles to finding out about some other amazing structures around the world, because our topic is called tunnels, towers and turrets. So today we're going to have a little look about some famous buildings around the world, and I'm sure you'll find it just as interesting as I have. So here are some of the buildings from around the world. So there are many wonderful and fascinating buildings around the world. Each one stands out for different reasons. So we're going to have a look at some of the most famous buildings and give you some important facts about them. So this building is called the Burj Khalifa. It was finished being built in October 2009, and it's in Dubai. Its height is 828 meters. That is so tall. In fact, the Burj is the Arabic word for tower. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. It is twice the height of the Empire State Building and almost 3 times as tall as the Eiffel Tower. The world's highest swimming pool is in the building, and it's on level 76. It took over 12,000 people working from all over the world to build the tower. It looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the Eiffel Tower. Does anybody know which country the Eiffel Tower is in? Let's find out. So, the Eiffel Tower was completed on the 31st of March 1889, and it's in Paris in the country of France, and the height is 320 meters, so it's still really tall but nowhere near as tall as the Burj Khalifa. The Eiffel Tower was named after Gustave Eiffel, who designed it. Millions of people climb the 1,665 steps of the Eiffel Tower every year. The Eiffel Tower's nickname is La Dame de Fer, which means the Iron Lady. It took 2 years, 2 months and 5 days to build. This building is called the Empire State Building. So the Empire State Building was completed on the 1st of May 1931, and it's in New York City in the USA, which is America. Its height is 381 meters, but if you include the spire at the top of it, it's 443 meters high. The Empire State Building was designed by William Lamb. It took 410 days to build. The building has 6,514 windows. I wouldn't like to clean all of them, would you? It has a lightning rod near the top, which is struck by lightning about 23 times every year. Does anybody know anything about this? This is the Great Wall of China. So the Great Wall of China was built over 2,000 years ago in China, and it's 14 meters at its highest point. Oh, I need to go back, everybody, sorry. Let me see if I can. It is 3,915 miles long. Now, I wish I'd written this fact down for you, but there is somewhere it tells you how long it would take you to walk all the way around the Great Wall of China, and it is a long time. I wonder if anybody can find that out for me. So, although many people believe that the Great Wall of China can be seen from space, this isn't true. So, there were some early sections of the wall that were made from stone, wood and earth. The London Eye. I've put in a few buildings from London because it's interesting, because we looked at them when we were doing our London topic. So this is the London Eye, and it was completed in 1999, and it's in London in the UK, and it's 135 meters high. It's also known as the Millennium Wheel because it was completed just before the new millennium in the year 2000. It is one of London's most popular tourist attractions. More than 3.5 million people visit every year. So there are 32 capsules. So the capsules are the glass bit that you sit in, and they're shaped like ovals, and that's one for each of London's boroughs, so that's for each part of London. Each capsule can carry 25 people, so they're really big. So this really beautiful building is called the Sydney Opera House. So it was completed on the 20th of October 1973, and it's located in Sydney in Australia, and it's 67 metres above water, so not as tall as the other buildings, but I think equally interesting and beautiful. So Jorn Hudson, the architect, was inspired by things in nature such as shells, birds, wings and walnuts. It is 187 metres long and 115 metres wide. There are 1,000 rooms inside it, including 5 theatres. So the grand organ inside the Opera House is the largest mechanical musical instrument in the world. So this is why it's called an opera house, because it has theatres and they have amazing productions and shows in the Sydney Opera House. This very beautiful building is called the Taj Mahal. So the Taj Mahal was completed in 1653. So it's hundreds of years old, and even all that time ago they could still build such beautiful buildings. So it's located in Agra in India, and it's 171 meters high. The Taj Mahal is made of white marble, and it took over 20 years to build. It is a mausoleum, which is a building that contains tombs for important people. So tombs are places where important people are buried when they die. The name Taj Mahal means crown of palaces. It's visited by up to 70,000 tourists every day. So I can see from the picture how busy it looks. So it's a really popular place for people to go and look at. Tower Bridge. Can anybody remember where Tower Bridge is from our work earlier on in the year? Well done. Tower Bridge is in London, and it was finished on the 30th of June 1894, and its height is 65 metres. So it looks really tall to me, but it's still nowhere near as tall as some of those other huge buildings we've looked at. It took about 432 workers 8 years to build Tower Bridge. It's 244 metres long and is 18 metres wide. The roadway opens up to allow tall ships to pass through. This happens about 1,000 times a year. It is often confused with London Bridge, which is further down the River Thames. And I do that sometimes, don't I? Call it London Bridge when it's Tower Bridge. This building I really love is called the Tower of Pisa. Does anybody know which country it's in? It's in Italy. So it was built in 1372, and it's in a place called Pisa in Italy, and its height is 55.86 metres. The Tower of Pisa is famous for leaning to one side. If you have a look at it, it's leaning ever so slightly. It's a little bit of a wonky building. It took 200 years to build because several wars happened and interrupted its construction. The bell tower is home to 7 bells and was built on unstable marshy soil. There are either 296 steps or 294 steps to climb, depending on which staircase you use. I think I'd be choosing the staircase with 294 steps, so it was a few less for me. I'm not sure I'd like to climb all the way to the top. Ooh, what are these called? Does anybody know? Fabulous. So this is a pyramid. Which country is it in? You're right, if you guessed, it's in Egypt. So we think that the Great Pyramid of Giza was completed in 2560 BC, so thousands of years ago, and it was located in Cairo in Egypt. And it's 139 meters high. So the Great Pyramid is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It is the largest of all the Egyptian pyramids, which were built as tombs for pharaohs. The Great Pyramid was built using 2.3 million stone blocks. And people are still not quite sure how the pyramids were built because they were so high and so big to be built all those thousands of years ago. It took 20,000 workers about 20 years to build just this one pyramid. This is another building you might recognise from our work earlier on in the year. Does anybody know what it's called? So this is the Shard. And it was finished in 2012. And this is a building in London as well, which is 306 meters high. So a really tall building. It looks stunning, doesn't it? So the Shard is the tallest building in the UK. It can be seen from 40 miles away and was designed by Renzo Piano. There are 82 floors and 44 lifts which travel at 6 meters per second, so they go quite fast. It was designed to look like the sail of a ship. So that's all of our amazing buildings today, and I really hope that you're going to enjoy doing our work on buildings over the next few weeks. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.